So the first time in the Trump administration, they're actually lifting tariffs rather than putting them on or threatening to do so. They kind of had to do it to get passage of the new USMCA, the new NAFTA agreement, the free trade deal between Mexico, Canada and the US. Essentially, Mexico and Canada insisted these steel and aluminum tariffs are going to had to be taken off first. Now, the deal is a good news, though, for free traders, for the US economy, the Canadian economy, and the Mexican economy. US President Trump really hoping it will mean this trade deal now gets through the US Congress.
So it was a barrier to our farmers being able to do business with them, to our farmers being able to sell product in there. So that deal is going to be a fantastic deal for our country.
Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying essentially that Canada was not going to back down, imposed retaliatory tariffs and dug its heels in and made sure that these tariffs were lifted before they moved forward on the trade deal.
We did make the commitment to work with the United States on watching how the industry is evolving and making sure that we're not becoming victims of global pressures on our steel industry. But that's something that, quite honestly, our steel workers have been asking for too. So we're very well aligned on that.
And the deal is pretty straightforward. All steel and aluminum tariffs will be lifted within 2 days of this agreement. They are also going to monitor steel and aluminum coming into the US and elsewhere and prevent subsidized steel and the dumping of steel. And also there isn't sort of an automatic move where tariffs can be put back on if the US feels like it. All the countries involved will basically say that they will monitor the situation and they cannot put tariffs back without prior consultations first. So this seems to be like a victory for Canada and Mexico. Now, what are the consequences going to be? Well, it's much more likely that the USMCA trade bill will get through the US Congress, or there are some sticking points. That will also create leverage, because a lot of this is about cars, remember, leverage in negotiations between the US and Japan and the US and the European Union. Remember, the Trump administration delayed the imposition of tariffs on auto imports due to weird national security regulations. This passage of the USMCA would actually help in negotiations. You could also argue it could help with leverage against China, as well as you have now a much more united free trade zone in North America. We'll wait and see. But tariffs coming off for the first time in the Trump administration. Nathan King, CGTN at the White House.